The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller Highland. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Radio Shack, a Tandy company, the nationwide supermarket of sound. And by Ford and your Ford dealer, who are introducing the all-new LTD and Mustang October 6th.
You're looking at the fiberglass panels of the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, where today CBS presents the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions in an NFC Central Division matchup. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris here at the Silverdome, and this afternoon the Bears and the Lions, two traditional rivals, and you've been following the Bears, covering their games the last 2 weeks, John. They won them both. How do they look?
They won them both, but they really haven't busted loose. Walter Payton has been held down fairly well, but it's the defense that's been holding them in there. And they say the sign of a good team is to win when you're not doing that well, and so far the Bears have done that.
The Lions are 1-1 under new coach Monty Clark, and their problems still primarily along the offensive line. And also today, Dexter Bussey, bothered by an ankle injury, not expected to see action, so they lose a little problem. They create a little problem there offensively. We're ready for the kickoff now, and the Chicago Bears have won the toss. They are defending to our right, wearing the white uniforms, and the Detroit Lions will be to our left in blue. Benny Ricardo, number 1, will kick it off. It's taken at the 12-yard line by Brian Bashnagel, number 84. Bashnagel gets out over the 25 to about the 27. And the Bears will start first down from that point, and the officials for today's game, the referee is Fred Silva, the umpire Ralph Moorcroft, then Norm Craigseth, Jack Johnson, Jim Kearney, Bob Rice, and Charlie Musser.
First and 10 for the Bears.
Walter Payton and Roland Harper will be the running backs behind this offensive line. Albrecht, Jackson, Neal, Sorey, and Dennis Lick, with Greg Ladd at the tight end. And Richards and Scott are the wide receivers. Golden Richards, recently acquired from Dallas. Roland Harper, the first man to carry the ball for Chicago, gets to the 30-yard line. Gain maybe 2 on the play. And Golden Richards starting for Bo Rather, who has a broken knuckle, will not see action today. Richards is number 83. James Scott, the other wide receiver, number 89. Defensively for the Lions, Ken Sanders with Woodcock and English, the tackles, and the rookie sensation Al Baker at the other defensive end position. The linebackers are Newmoff, O'Neill, and Charlie Weaver, and a young secondary, James Hunter and Luther Bradley on the corners. Bruce Rhodes and Jimmy Allen are the safeties. Second down and 8 yards to go. Bob Avellini, the Chicago quarterback. In motion is Golden Richards. Walter Payton's first carry. Sanders wraps him up, and Payton digs for about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5.
One thing Detroit has done very well so far this year is allowed no yards passing. Can you imagine that? In 2 games, they are minus yardage. Nobody's been able to get on the air with them. They're going to try and stop Walter Payton. That's the key. They said they saw the San Francisco films from last week, and the key was getting their outside men up across the line of scrimmage for the end runs to force Walter back inside and get the pursuit. That time, Ken Sanders got it from behind. Let's see how they do against Walter Payton.
There's Bob Avellini, 15 for 41, passing in the first 2 games at a 36.6 percentage. Not off to a great start. Payton jumps over one blocker at the line of scrimmage and dropped back a yard by Woodcock and the rookie cornerback Luther Bradley. Bradley, the number 1 pick from Notre Dame.
Let's take a look at now. Walter was going on his first real end run as he follows a block, and he is turned back inside, and Woodcock gets him from the inside along with some help from Luther Bradley. So the Lions are doing what they try to do, not let Walter get outside the horn.
Jesse Thompson is the deep man waiting the punt, standing on his own 25-yard line. Bob Parsons will kick, and he hits it from the 24. Good rush by the Lions. Jesse Thompson, fair catch at the 25-yard line. The young man from California, 10th pick. A 40-yard punt by Bob Parsons. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. Well, we didn't think we'd see Dexter Bussey starting, Johnny, but he is in there, number 24. Bothered by an ankle injury, Horace King, number 25. The other running back, the lead back in the I formation. Greg Landry is the quarterback, and he'll throw on first down, and it's complete to Freddie Scott, number 47, the wide receiver from Amherst, acquired from Baltimore in a trade this year for Herb Orvis.
And Greg Landry is also a question mark because he's been banged the last couple of weeks into the ribs, and they wondered about how he was going to be. If you give him time, can he hit his receivers? And that time he did it. As you look at the Detroit offensive backfield, Greg Landry, Bolton, and King, and there are the receivers. Of course, David Hill is now the tight end with Charlie Sanders having retired.
A 17-yard gain and a first down on the first offensive play for Detroit. The ball at the 42 of the Lions. We're just underway first period. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris. There is no score here at the Silverdome. That is Bussey. Dexter Bussey, number 24 from Texas Arlington, has rushed 34 times for 139 yards in the first two games. Tommy Hicks, number 54, the middle linebacker, made the stop. A gain of about 4 on the play.
There's a look at the Chicago defensive line. Tommy Hardover from San Francisco. Of course, they use a lot of three-man fronts and bring in 4 linebackers, but here are the starting 3 with Doug Buffone, the anchor there. The defensive secondary, probably the roughest in the NFL. They hit.
Terry Schmidt getting the start at the corner, replacing Allen Ellis, who was out for the season on injured reserve with a knee injury suffered in practice. A Pro Bowler a year ago for the Bears. That is Forrest King with his first carry. Good pursuit. Virgil Livers getting him behind the line of scrimmage as the Bears strung it out defensively. Hartenstein, the first man to force the issue, and there was no gain on the play, perhaps a loss of about a half yard.
Tim, you made mention of the fact that the Lions' offensive line has undergone quite a changeover just in the past couple of weeks. Monty Clark says his older veterans weren't doing it, and he started making changes. They had 7 sacks in the first game against Green Bay, and Landry really got plastered, and he's still trying to recover from that as far physically.
There are 5 new starters for the Lions offensively and 5 on defense from a year ago. A lot of players are gone. Several more are hurt. We'll pass that information along to you as we go along. Those who are curious about the changes Monty Clark has made. And too long. Delay of game charged against the Detroit Lions. So Greg Landry having a little discussion in the huddle, and he just looked over to the coaches along the sidelines and kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, well, I don't know what happened. I thought we were ready to go.
Offense. Delay. 3rd down.
So well, it's 3rd and about 11, John.
He definitely has a passing situation, but at least he has good weather. It's raining like heck outside, and here we are, 70 degrees inside. We don't have to worry about the weather, and the players don't either.
Ron Rydalch has left defensively for the Bears, so they've got the extra back in here in this situation. And 3rd and 11, Landry goes with a run to Horace King. Got maybe 5 or 6, but the surprise element did not work. The Bears stopped him well short of the first down, and Detroit will punt. Hicks and Muckensturm on the tackle. Tom Spladany will come in to punt, number 15. Acquired in the offseason, originally drafted by the Cleveland Browns and unsigned, and he's now here with the Lions. The deep man is Steve Schubert. And Brian Baschnagel is up along with Golden Richards, number 83. Spladany punting from the 36-yard line. Good punt taken at the 10 by Schubert. Schubert to the 17. And the first man downfield was number 53. And that is Willie Brock, the new center just acquired from Colorado. So we are scoreless here in the first quarter.
Years ago, your father took you out on a hot summer's day and taught you how to dig for clams. Now that it's a job, the sun seems hotter and the day longer. But the clams you pull up through the mud and the water taste just as sweet. Now comes Miller time. Time to relax with a few friends and a glass of the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Beer after beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
So it is first down for the Chicago Bears as we are scoreless here in the first quarter. The second offensive opportunity for Chicago. Bob Avellini has Payton and Harper at the running backs, and they have been the only running backs in the first two games of the season for the Bears. Avellini, quick pass to Scott Van James Scott, number 89, in a little bit of a hurry to make the turn upfield, I think, Johnny, and just didn't squeeze it.
I think it may have been deflected slightly by Charlie Weaver, which obstructed his vision for a second. The ball came a couple of inches higher into Scott's hands. Of course, he should have had the ball, but it was deflected by the linebacker. And the Bears have really had some problems on the passing game. You would think, Tim, with teams stopping the running game of Walter Payton, they'd be able to throw the ball, and they have not been able to do that.
Well, we mentioned Avellini, 15 for 41 the first two games, and that's, of course, not an admirable percentage yet. Roland Harper, hard running, off tackle right to the 25-yard line.
And I say once again, Roland Harper, probably the most underrated player in the NFL, got a good block from Reeve Sori, 69, before a host of Lions brought him down. But that's the best way to take pressure off Payton, and that's to give the ball to Roland Harper, who is about 7th in the NFC in rushing himself this year.
Ken Sanders and Bruce Rhodes made the tackle. Rhodes getting a start ahead of Reggie Pinckney. Steelers ahead of Cincinnati 7-0, and a touchdown by Rocky Blyer, a 5-yard run. Third down, about 3 to go for the Bears. Walter Payton trying the left side, and he will be close, but it appears to be short of the first down yardage. Number 59, Charlie Weaver, in on the tackle. Luther Bradley coming up from the corner to help out number 27. Lions have 2 first-round picks playing the corners for them. James Hunter from Grambling, picked in 1976. Bradley, this year's rookie from Notre Dame, pick number 1.
All those old familiar Detroit Lion names, they're gone. Sanders and Lem Barney and some of those guys, Freitas.
A lot of changes by Monty Clark. Parsons standing on his 13-yard line. Jesse Thompson is the deep man waiting the punt. And again, he signals fair catch with good field position for the Lions at the 38-yard line. A flag is down. And we'll find out what that penalty is about when we return here in just a moment with the score still 0-0.
Here's the Radio Shack speaker sale you've been waiting for. The Realistic Nova, half off at $64.97. Designed and engineered by Radio Shack for high-fidelity sound. Buy a pair for your present stereo or in the realistic system you've always wanted. The sale price Nova speaker in an all-wood cabinet. Half-priced during this remarkable sale. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Coming October 6th, a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79. With more front and rear seat room, more driver convenience, more handling ease, and more window area than last year's LTD. A road car to take you across town or across the country. This land is your land. This land is my land. Test drive the new LTD October 6th at Ford dealers across the country.
And how about this score? The Jets in front of Seattle, 7-0. The Jets are 2-0 this year, undefeated.
Clark Gaines scored from the yard out to get the touchdown for the New York Jets. And a holding penalty was called against Luther Bradley of the Lions on the fair catch play by Jesse Thompson. So Detroit starting from their 26-yard line. Greg Landry, number 11, the quarterback. Wide right is Luther Blue. And a fumble on the play. Scramble for it. And the Bears have it. First down, Chicago at the 30-yard line of the Detroit Lions.
And you can tell he never had the ball. He hits him a little bit low, had to reach out. The ball bounced off his knees, and I think it was 46 Doug Plank that got in there and made the recovery for Chicago.
It was Horace King who mishandled the handoff from Greg Landry. And so at the 31-yard line of Detroit, the Chicago Bears have the first real good offensive opportunity of the game. Harper and Payton are the running backs. Wide left is Golden Richards. Wide right is Scott. Payton with one good move and another, and forced out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Jimmy Allen, the safety, number 40, coming up to put the hit on it.
And this is what you can't do with Walter Payton. You give him the pitch, you get Noah Jackson out front. Nobody came across the line of scrimmage on the outside to force Walter back, as there was a good block downfield by Golden Richards. And finally, he's knocked out of bounds by Jimmy Allen.
Jimmy Allen from UCLA, acquired in the off-season this year from Pittsburgh for a draft choice. He's been a backup secondary man for the Steelers. It is 2nd and 5. In motion back comes Richards.
Oh,
Walter Payton, big hole. To the 20. To the 16-yard line. Allen, the first man to hit him. And back into the play was the rookie defensive end, Al Baker, number 80.
I'll tell you one thing, Jimmy Allen and Walter Payton are going to become good friends as he cuts back against the grain, and if it hadn't have been for Jimmy Allen, number 40, right in here to make the tackle, Walter would have gone for the touchdown. He's so quick to cut back against the grain, you've got to watch it from the backside.
A 9-yard gain for Walter Payton. Payton coming into the game and rushed for 163 yards, an average only of 3.5 yards a carry. That's not a high average for Walter, even over a 2-game season, but he had 100 yards in the first game. Held to 63 last week. Now Avellini calls time as he checked out that Lions defense and decided the play he had called wasn't going to work.
Apparently somebody lined up in the wrong spot because Avellini is jawing with Walter Payton. I don't know if he's saying, hey, Walter, get to the right spot, or I could be mistaken on that. But at any rate, it's a timeout, which could cost the Bears maybe before the half when they could use a timeout.
Well, that gives us a chance to remind our viewers that next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, USAC's Trenton 150 will feature the top drivers, including Mario Andretti and the Ruffian, live coverage from Belmont Park. A race for fillies 3 years old and up, and named after the late great filly Ruffian. And last year's winner, Cum Laude Laurie, is expected to be nominated for the event. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern Time on the Sports Spec.
Were you surprised that Seattle Salute beat Affirmed yesterday?
Well, yeah, I was a little surprised. I guess a lot of people were, because Slew had not been all that impressive after his Derby victories and Triple Crown victories, and so it was an exciting event.
There is an exciting event. Neil Armstrong talking to Bob Avellini last week. Neil Armstrong started sending in a few more plays than he had the first week. They felt that they got into some bad situations, so now they're discussing this one, which is a 1st and 10. Giants 7, Kansas City nothing in the first period.
Joe Pizarczyk passing to Bobby Hammond, 6-yard touchdown pass. 7-0. So the Bears here in good scoring position with the ball at the 18-yard line of the Detroit Lions. And, you know, we mentioned the changes in this Lions club, Johnny. Looking at what's happened in a year, Charlie Sanders retired, Ray Jarvis placed on waivers, Lem Barney cut, Charlie West traded, Dick Giron traded, Herb Orvis, Jim Mitchell, Larry Hand, Jim Yarbrough, Craig Herdwig, all gone from a year ago. And they've got some fine players on injured reserve, including the top offensive lineman, Russ Bollinger, Mark Markovich. So they've really had quite a turnover here. First down. Avellini will pass. Swings it out to Harper. Harper is hit immediately. Excellent coverage. Loose ball. Loose ball as play had not been called, and the Lions keep it alive. Bruce Rhodes has it. Carries it out to the 30-yard line, but they're going to bring it back to the 20. Now let's see. The ball will remain Detroit's ball.
I never did hear a whistle on that play, did you? But you can see Harper going out there swinging to the backfield, and he really gets plastered, and the ball is jarred loose. He's actually stopped there. Some people would dispute the fact that that was a fumble because his forward progress had been stopped and he was thrown back a couple of yards. But the officials rule it a recovery for the Detroit Lions.
Bruce Rhodes did recover the ball, but was ruled down at the point where he recovered it at the 20. And so the Lions will start from there, and the teams have exchanged fumbled turnovers. Bussey and King are the running backs. Bussey was not expected to play in this game today because of an ankle injury, but he did start. Landry, screen pass. Bussey with running room to the 34-yard line, and a first down for the Lions. Gary Campbell made the tackle, number 59.
A well-executed screen pass is Greg Landry. If you give him some time, he'll put the ball right there. The line gets out in front. They do their counts. and you can see make the catch, and there are 3 linemen out there in front. Good blocking as Bussey goes for the first down, finally brought down by Gary Campbell, number 59, for Chicago.
Jesse Thompson, number 48, is in at wide receiver for Luther Blue. Thompson, the rookie from California. Straight ahead is Horace King, stacked up by the front line of the Chicago Bears.
Pittsburgh 14-0 over Cincinnati. The Steelers on the move. Pittsburgh also 2-0, so they got a good chance to remain undefeated. There's a lot of undefeated teams in the NFL so far this year.
Franco Harris, a 15-yard run for the Steeler touchdown. Doug Buffone made that tackle for the Bears. It is 2nd and 8. Greg Landry, number 11, the quarterback for the Lions. Bussey and King, the running backs. Luther Blue. And Freddie Scott, the wide receivers.
Greg Landry wanted a new ball. Apparently somebody might have, who knows, spit on it, or it was a little bit wet.
Rain, you know that.
It's not wet from rain. Could be some normal sweat, maybe.
We're in the Silverdome at Pontiac, Michigan. Indoor football today on CBS. Horace King running behind the left guard. Homer Elias, a rookie from Tennessee State. Picked up about 6. It'll be 3rd and 3. The ball at the 41-yard line of Detroit.
And if you fans are watching, keep your eye on Doug Plank, 46. He's been in on every tackle, not late, but right as the whistle up from his defensive backfield shot. He has to hit a few people or he won't be happy for the rest of the week.
He gets in on the action, and he's had 15 tackles in the first 2 games for the season. Slot formation right. Blue is in the slot. Bussey and King in the pro set. It's Dexter Bussey, 24. Flags are down as he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration by the Bears defensively. And it was Jim Osborne, number 68, pulling him down from behind. Kicks from in front. Let's see what the infraction is. The offside signaled, and we'll find out against who. Fred Silva, the referee. Against the Bears. Holding against the Lions.
Defense, 68.
Osborne.
Offside. Offense, 76. Holding. Replay. 3rd down.
Well, with the difference of penalties, you'd have to say that the Lions got the break out of that. You saw Monty Clark.
Rookie Carl Balderschwader was the man guilty of holding for the Detroit Lions, number 76, free agent from Oklahoma. So it is still 3rd and 3 as they'll replay the down. Play action. Landry, incomplete. Intended for Jesse Thompson, the rookie wide receiver, number 48. Good coverage by Fensick, the safety, number 45.
Let's take a look at the play action pass. The pass was there. He comes down to Fensick and bangs it on Fensick and heads for the sidelines, and the pass was right at the right spot where it should be because he was well covered. Makes a good catch to hang on, but he did not. And the Lions will lose the ball to Chicago.
Spladini standing on his 26-yard line. And the 3 deep men, Richards.
Oh,
Schubert,
look at that one.
Dashnagel. This is Schubert, backed up to the 13 and tackled at the 10. Downfield quickly with Jesse Thompson, number 48. Fleet wide receiver from California, the man who just dropped that pass. And so the Bears will have to start from their 10-yard line on a fine punt from Tom Spladini.
Are we going to beat a bowling chance tonight? Yeah! Are we having a problem?
Yeah. Did I forget my press stone?
Yeah!
Take out the old, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone 2.
Protect against freeze-ups and corrosion. Take out old, weak antifreeze and put in America's most trusted antifreeze, Prestone 2.
Take out the old, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone 2.
And when you flush your cooling system, use Prestone Super Flush.
By the time this day is done, you'll turn a mountain of canvas and a truckload of living dynamite into one of the world's oldest fantasies, the circus. Now comes Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer.
Who can
tell you Suzanne's fantasies, Liz Taylor's past, Willie Nelson's future, and who crashes the
as a Bear. Of course, at first he was a little disappointed being traded from the Dallas Cowboys, you know, perennial Super Bowl champions, but who knows what's going to happen here in Chicago.
First down, Chicago. Jimmy Allen back in the game now. Apparently all right. Pinckney went out. Slot formation left. Richards in the slot. Avellini, number 7, is the quarterback. Payton wide right. Cut off at the corner by Jimmy Allen again, number 40. And it looks like Allen's just been assigned to Payton today, I think.
How would you like that assignment? There's a couple of young Lions. They don't look too happy, though. Right now, he says, what's going on here?
Lion mascots along the sideline.
That last play, you may have noticed, Walter got to the outside, and boy, you're asking for trouble when you let him outside like that.
He picked up 5 on the play, and had Allen not forced him out, he might have made the full turn and got the first down. Instead, at 2nd and 5 at the 42, the Bears moving smartly out of their own zone. Payton again. Wrapped up by Sanders, number 82. Got maybe a yard. Sanders, Woodcock, English, and the rookie Al Baker, the defensive front 4 for Detroit.
There was a slight hole for about 1/10 of a second, and then they closed it up. But I like the way Sanders made this tackle. Arms around him, hold the ball, not let go of him. He's not going to let Payton go because you never know. And you can see 5 Lions. There's about 1,200 pounds against 195.
Good job by John Woodcock, number 77. You can see in our replay, too, forcing Payton to go wide as he fought off the block real well. Payton has 43 yards and 8 carries so far. 3rd down, about 3 to go. Payton again. Hit behind the line, digs out short of the first down. You saw him put the ball down over the yard marker, but they won't mark it there. Newmoff and Sanders put the stop on Payton, and I believe he'll come up about a half-yard short.
Well, the Bears are forced to punt, or at least we assume they're going to punt. The Lions are really hitting the Bears' outside cover men with 2 men sometimes, which makes you vulnerable to a pass on a punting situation. I don't know if the Bears would do it at this time, but I'm just saying that they are vulnerable if you have 2 outside guys going down. They hit them both with 2 men.
Jesse Thompson is the deep man awaiting the punt from Bob Parsons. Parsons hits it from his own 38-yard line. Fumble, loose ball, and who's got it? Bears have it. Play stopped before the ball was run to the 9-yard line by Skabinski. But it is going to be Chicago ball at the 18-yard line. So another turnover by the Lions gives Chicago their 2nd good scoring chance.
Hit him in a real bad spot, right in the stomach as it goes through. And the ball is loose, and Skabinski is on it. Number 30 was on it. Mike Spivey was there.
I believe Skabinski came up with it, number 30.
There he is right there, and then he takes a little punishment on the sidelines, but he says it's all worth it. The Bears have the ball on the 17-yard line, 18-yard line.
It was fumbled by Jesse Thompson, who appeared to be signaling a fair catch, but was a little bit indecisive. First down, Bears. Motion by the Lions. Payton tripped over the artificial turf and then dove forward to the 15. It'll be a question of whether the Lions jumped offside or maybe they were drawn over by the Bears. Let's see. Paul Newmoff, number 50, made the tackle, ranging over from the left linebacker side. It's going to be against Detroit. Payton got about 3, so they'll probably take the penalty. Let's see. And they do. The ball is spotted at the 13-yard line. Golden Richards comes out for the Bears.
First down.
Brian Bashnagel goes in. It was Sanders offside for the Lions. Daschnagel comes wide left. First down, 5 to go. Wide right is James Scott, number 89. Payton dancing over the 10-yard line to the 8. Al Baker, the rookie from Colorado State, number 80, made the stop.
One of the strengths of the Detroit defense is their defensive line, and so far the Bears have pushed them back fairly well. They manage, even when it's jammed up, to fall forward for 2, 3, 4 yards. They now have a second down situation and 1 to go.
Atlanta in front of Cleveland 3-0 in the first period there. Fred Steinfort kicking a 24-yard field goal for the Falcons.
61, set!
Second and 1. Harper diving, trying to get that first down yardage. And I would guess, Johnny, that he probably has it. Stacked up by the middle of that Lions line. You see Sanders 82, O'Neal 55 there, and somebody getting up from the bottom is Woodcock, number 77.
These two teams have been playing since 1934. The Bears have won 50, the Lions 35 over the years. That doesn't make any difference right now because it's 1978 as the Bears are very, very close to that first down. It appears, well, I'm not even going to make a judgment there. It's so close, but it looks like he might have made it.
Ball just nosing the 8-yard line. First down here, they'd almost certainly come out with at least 3 points, barring a turnover. And they are just short that much. You mentioned all of the turnovers personnel-wise on the Lions. On injured reserve, they have Bollinger. Dave Gallagher got hurt last week. J.D. Hill. Mark Markovich. So, while they have moved a lot of players, they've got some good ones on injured reserve. Dave Washington, number 52, has come in replacing Charlie Weaver at linebacker as the Lions trying to hold off the Bears here on this 3rd and inches situation. And that's going to wind down the first quarter before that play will get off. And so, at the end of the first period here at the Silverdome, the Lions nothing and the Bears nothing.
Now, some of the best movies on television aren't on television. They're on Select-O-Vision, the 4-hour video cassette recorder from RCA. Because now you can buy full-length uncut movies on cassettes. Movies like Pat and Hello Dolly, lots more. With Select-O-Vision, you can go to the movies at your house.
Buy now during the RCA Film Festival and get 2 free movies and discount coupons for 5 more.
Silicon dioxide is one of nature's most abundant chemicals. Sand. For years, tons of it have been used to make glass.
Like this old windshield. Today, a Monsanto chemical called polyvinyl butyrol makes your windshield much safer in an accident. No chemical is totally safe all the time, everywhere. But to make driving safer, we need chemicals like polyvinyl butyrol. Without chemicals, life itself would be impossible.
In looking at the statistics, as the Bears have a 3rd and 1 situation, the Bears have had 64 yards rushing, 49 of them by Walter Payton and 10 carries as Bob Avellini comes back. So far this year, they have had a tendency on real short yardage down close to the goal line to quarterback sneak with Avellini. Last year it was a lot of dives with Payton. We'll see what they do now on this 3rd and short, very short yardage.
Avellini, 6'2", 212-pounder. He's big enough to make these short dives, and Bill Armstrong evidently thinks so. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris at the Silverdome at Pontiac, Michigan. The Bears threatening, 3rd and inches, inside the 10. And Avellini has it and then some. Gets to about the 6-yard line.
Here it is, Avellini up and over. He just follows the center. Dan Neal guards submarine, and so did Detroit on defense. And Avellini went up and over, and it drew a crowd, but he got his yard. He got his first down.
Those linemen looked like they were trying to dig holes in that artificial turf. They were down so low.
You better get yourself a knife if you're going to.
Charlie Weaver back into the ball game at linebacker for the Lions. Out comes Dave Washington, the former 49er.
Big hole.
And Harper, good filling by the secondary of the Lions because there was a hole there. He got to the 5, and then all of a sudden the door was closed. O'Neill and Allen there to close it.
You really called it, Tim. There was a big hole there, and they closed it in a hurry. Jimmy Allen, nice play. O'Neill, nice play. This is where you can see daylight. See the daylight right there, right off the tackle, and then boom, 3 Lions right there and stop him cold. Good defense.
You know, you think about Jimmy Allen, a fifth-year man from UCLA, never played as a regular with the Steelers, and the kind of depth the Steelers had tells you about the kind of successful team they've had over the years.
The Bears are playing Robin Earl at the other tight end position.
Now Payton jumps to the right side, Harper to the left. Play action, fake to Payton, and intended for Latta. Flags are down. Latta had not made his turn. Avellini forced to throw the ball a little earlier than he wanted to.
What happened was he was jamming, being jammed by Weaver, 59, as he was coming down the line of scrimmage. Did he chuck him too long? Watch the right side of your screen. You probably won't be able to see it as it's coming out of your screen. And he chucked him and stayed with him and then let him go. And you can see his hand saying, no, I didn't touch him. And we'll see what the call is. Should be
the line of
against the Lions.
The line of scrimmage was at the 7-yard line, just inside the 7. And he didn't have a whole lot of 5-yard restraining zone to work in before he got to the end zone.
Holding. First down.
Well, they call it a holding penalty against Charlie Weaver, so I guess he got a little grab on him, too.
Yeah, he was just chucking him too long. And the big thing about that penalty wasn't so much the yardage, but they get the first down. So now they've got first down with a little over 3 yards to go. They're in good shape.
Brian Baschnagel, number 84, in at wide receiver. And the Bears come out lined up tightly. Payton. Good hole. Stopped short of the goal line. Got about 3 yards on the play. Maybe, well, he couldn't have got 3. He'd be in the end zone. Let's give him 2.5. Weaver and Doug English.
If Ed O'Neill hadn't reached out and grabbed him by the jersey, he would have been in for the touchdown. Good defense by O'Neill to prevent the touchdown, but now they have less than a yard to go.
Schubert comes in, replacing Baschnagel. And evidently bringing the play in here in this situation. The ball is a yard from the end zone on 2nd down for the Bears. Walter Payton, touchdown. Payton has the Bears in front, 6-0 on a 1-yard run. And it was easy. 6 plays. Sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
Good blocking by the Bear offensive line. Walter just went up and over into the end zone. Chicago takes the lead 6-0 on good, solid, fundamental blocking by the offensive line down there. And a couple of mistakes have really hurt Detroit. A couple of key fumbles, couple of penalties. And that's the way you lose ball games.
Bob Thomas will attempt the point after with Baschnagel holding.
Perfect.
And it's good. So the Chicago Bears take advantage of the opportunities handed them by the Lions and score here early in the second period. It is 7-0.
The 1978 Ford Pinto. With standard features like these, it's packed with value. A 2.3-liter engine, a 4-speed transmission, rack and pinion steering, power front disc brakes, electric defroster, AM radio, tinted glass and bucket seats. And since the 77 model year, redesigned fuel system features that include a longer filler pipe and polyethylene shield. Ford Pinto, over 2.5 million sold since introduction. Ford Pinto, a complete small car.
I like pickles, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
I like pizza, but it doesn't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Digel's special combination of antacid and anti-gas ingredients gives you fast, gentle relief from acid indigestion, heartburn, and gas in just minutes.
I like hot dogs, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Your cooling system was corroded. That'll be $76 for parts, $28 for labor.
What?
You should have kept your guard up.
My radiator's steaming. I need a tow. Should have kept your guard up.
When winter hits, keep your guard up. Installed properly, DowGuard antifreeze protects against corrosion, and DowGuard guard your car down to 34 below. Guard anti-freeze.
Take it from me. Keep your guard up.
Bob Thomas will kick it off. The running back firm of Thompson & Thompson awaiting it on the goal line. Leonard Thompson and the rookie Jesse, who has the ball. Number 48. Right up the middle to the 29-yard line for Jesse Thompson out of California. The 10th pick by the Lions this year. And he's stopped by Art Best, number 25. Well, next week, the NFL on CBS will present this doubleheader action, depending on what area of the country you're in. You'll see New Orleans at Cincinnati, L.A. at Houston, Atlanta at Tampa Bay, Detroit at Seattle, Green Bay at San Diego are the two early games, followed by the doubleheader game, St. Louis at Dallas, or San Francisco and the New York Giants. That is Horace King, hit right at the 25-yard line behind the line of scrimmage by Mike Hartenstein, number 73. Bears went 18 yards in 6 plays. Used up 3:25 on the clock.
As you look at the Detroit bench, so far they haven't had too much to cheer about. Detroit has not done much offensively since the first play of the game.
Loss of 2 on that play at his 2nd and 12. Landry will throw. Complete to Luther Blue. Takes off 1 tackle, stopped by Hicks at the 48-yard line.
Plenty of time for Greg Landry to pass as the Lions provide protection, something they haven't done in the past couple of games. And Blue just comes across the middle inside of Doug Plank on the double coverage. And there is the tackle as Schmidt was deep and Plank had him on the inside, and the Lions have a first down.
They spotted at the 46, a 20-yard gain, and a big one, getting the Lions quickly up to midfield. They trail 7-0. Landry looking to throw again. Sideline for Blue, could not hold on, and took a real good hit from Virgil Livers just as he made contact with the ball. Atlanta still in front of Cleveland, 3-0 on the Steinfort field goal. Giants have gone ahead of Kansas City, Johnny, 14-0 now.
And there's another one. Pittsburgh 14-3 over Cincinnati in the second period.
Seattle has come back to tie the Jets in the second at 7-7. In that Giant game, Joe Pisarcik has thrown a second touchdown pass. Landry is 3 of 5 for 51 yards as he has 2nd and 10 now at the Detroit 46, and it's Dexter Bussey. Good hole. Bussey, flag is down. Bussey knocked down from behind by Fensick. Fensick gets up limping. The ball spotted at the 30-yard line of the Bears, but a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
The Bears came with the blitz off the 3-man front, and everybody was jammed up in the middle, and Bussey does a nice job of coming back inside of Campbell on the good block, and the penalty flag was down. So far we haven't had a call, but good running by Bussey. It was against the Bears. Gary Fensick with the tackle. Subsequently got up limping. We'll see how serious it is. Holding.
First down.
A holding penalty against Chicago, and so the Lions now have the ball at the 25 of the Bears.
Didn't you hear that Bussey wasn't going to be able to
That's
play
right.
today? I tell you what.
They told us he would not start. He did start, and playing on what is termed a sore ankle, he's playing very well. Sideline complete to Jesse Thompson.
Oh, Jesse's got to move.
Freddie Scott.
Freddie Scott, yes. Number 47. A nice move. He got an extra yard out of it. Just the out pattern about 8 yards down the field. Watch him make the grab, and then the extra move to get another yard out of it. Right here, both feet in, and then take a little hop. That's right.
Yes. Director Bob Daly said he looked just like Johnny Morris in his days. I got an interesting stat I'm going to pass along about Johnny Morris, the big game he had a few years back. We'll get that in when we have a chance. It's 2nd and 4. Slot formation left for the Lions. Straight ahead is Horace King, number 25. 4th-year man from Georgia. And he'll be short of the first down by about a yard. Buffon and Campbell, the outside linebackers, combining on him. We'll call it 3rd and a little under a yard. There's Marty Clark.
Yes, the Bears' trademark so far has been to bend but not break. They have given up 550 yards in 2 games, been outgained by 100 yards. but they've had several interceptions, recovered fumbles, and when they needed to stop them, they've done it. Let's see if they do it this time.
Doug Hicks moves up onto the line of scrimmage to help out. They come wide with Bussey. Bussey makes a good cut inside. The one man who could have stopped him, Livers, has the yardage, but a flag is down.
A penalty against the Lions on this, and it may have been against Horace King, number 25, who was the lead back. You're seeing Bussey come around the end, which was a pretty good call. There is 25. And Plank is in on the tackle. He gets some help from the inside. And the penalty was against the Lions, a big penalty.
Plank and Fensick doing the filling job there.
Offense, number 25, flipping. Third down.
Called against Horace King, as Johnny indicated it might be. And so the Lions, who were threatening, are now pushed back to the 30-yard line. Third down, 15 yards to go.
What a difference. What a difference. They were down 3rd and 1, way down close, and now they've got a situation where big trouble. 3rd and 15.
Wide right is Freddie Scott. Wide right is Luther Blue, and Landry looking for an open man, finds it down the middle, Horace King. King shakes off one tackle from Buffon and battles his way over the 20 to the 19-yard line, where it is Doug Plank, number 46, finishing him off, with help from Jim Osborne coming back from the tackle spot. So a big play by Landry gets them to the 19. It is 4th down, however, and Benny Ricardo, number 1, has come in to attempt the field goal from the 27-yard line, a 37-yard try. Gary Danielson will hold. Ricardo's kick is up and no good. It is wide. And Benny Ricardo had a 48-yarder last week against Tampa Bay. Here's the boos from the hometown crowd here in the Silverdome on his missed field goal attempt.
Owens Corning built these 3 houses at its research center in Ohio to study the effect of 3 different levels of insulation. Nobody lives inside, but hundreds of electronic sensing devices measure the heat that flows out during winter and in during summer. What we're learning here helps us give you better advice about insulating your home, whether it's old or brand new. Want to know about insulation? Ask the experts. Ask Owens Corning.
Good old Charlie, that's me. Somebody's got a dead battery and they call good old Charlie, and I jump start 'em. Rain, snow, day, night. Well, this time I tell them, get your own Die Hard.
The maintenance-free Sears Die Hard has extra power to start your car where most batteries won't.
This is the last time.
Thank you, Charlie.
Oh, anytime.
The Die Hard, sold only at Sears.
We have 9:41 remaining here in the first half at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris bringing you the Bears and the Lions. Chicago in front, 7-0. On a 1-yard touchdown run by Walter Payton, the leading rusher in the game. It is first down Bears following the missed field goal by Benny Ricardo of Detroit. Ball at the Bears 19, and open is James Scott. Scott trying to get back outside, couldn't do it, but he has a first down out at the 38-yard line. Luther Bradley and Jimmy Allen on the tackle.
Plenty of room back on the backside as James Scott goes down with the quick post, comes across, and look at the room that they give him in front of him. You got to take that all day. That's duck soup. Duck soup. You give James Scott the ball like that, and he's liable to go all the way. And Jimmy Allen, once again, has to get in on the tackle, and Luther says, let me get a hold of that head. And down he goes, but they can't give James Scott that kind of room.
First down Bears, an 18-yard gain. Payton digs over the 40 to the 42-yard line. Bruce Rhodes, number 33, and Paul Newmoff, number 50 on the tackle.
And if you don't think Walter follows his blocking, 69, Reeve Story says, I'm going to turn it upfield. Let's don't go around the end. And Walter says, I'm going with you, big boy. Right up the gut there with number 69 and 65. Walter knows where his bread is buttered. Follow those big guards. And finally, the tackle, Newmoff is in on it, and several Detroit Lions, but Walter got some good yards.
Saw Roland Harper doing the job on Newmoff. Newmoff did get to make the tackle, but he was pushed out of the play originally by Harper. So at second, about 5.5. James Scott. Does he have it? He had it. It is going to be ruled a completion and a first down for the Bears at the 44-yard line of Detroit.
Here he is. James Scott goes down and inside of Hunter, this time over on the other side. Just the inside sponge move. 14 yards, turn back, go towards the ball. That's what he does.
That's Hunter on the
ball's
coverage.
There, and Hunter is right there in the coverage, and he starts to strip the ball. Now they're ruling that his forward progress had been stopped, and the whistle had blown, and this is all superfluous activity.
14-yard gain. First down. 44-yard line of Detroit. Two wide open receivers on consecutive plays. Motion by the Lions. Harper. Good run by Rowland for about 7 or 8 yards. Doug English appeared to be the man who was a little overeager. We'll wait and see what the call is. And it is against Detroit. Our referee today is Fred Silva. We'll get the announcement from him. So the Lions have hurt themselves with penalties and turnovers in key situations here so far, and they trail 7-0, but we're still here in the first half. 7:26 remaining.
Let's listen to the penalty call.
Defense, number 78, offside, first down.
It was Doug English offside, 1st and 5. 6 penalties for Detroit, Johnny, at 42 yards.
As you look at Monte Clark, we talk about all the changes on the lines, but the linebackers have stayed the same. Newmoff, Ed O'Neill, and Weaver, and the quarterback's the same. Greg Landry, Danielson, and Joe Reed. That's where they haven't made any changes.
Ball at the 39 of the Lions. Avellini has time. Now ran out of time and got it to Peyton. Peyton has nowhere to go. Look at this. Well, he wound up backing up about 3 yards as the Lions got over there quickly to shut him off. Another flag is down. Al Baker was there. Doug English, number 78, first man to hit him.
We got an idea that's going to be against the Bears because they had the pass block so long as Avellini wanted to throw to Golden Richards and changed his mind and then tried to dump it off to Peyton and did a good job of getting it off. See, there's Golden Richards on the post up at the top of your screen. Now you're going to see him just dump off to Peyton. But I think they may have called it on Dan Neal, 52, pushing as he was pass blocking.
Good coverage downfield by the Lions secondary that time after they had 2 consecutive open men.
Offense, number 64, holding.
Head off.
First down.
So it is 1st and 15. The ball back out near midfield now, just inside the Lions' half of the field. Baschenagel, number 84, and that wide receiver goes out left. James Scott, number 89, comes wide right.
Anderson! 319!
Peyton behind Jackson, and good defensive play by Luther Bradley, the cornerback, number 27.
And number 55, Ed O'Neill, who got across here and got Walter by the foot and hung on for dear life.
Walter stretched out for about a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Peyton now has 14 carries for 59 yards. What's that average out to? A little under 4. 4 times 14 is what? 56?
I think I'm going to bail you out of that. I'm a lousy mathematician. That's why we have a statistician here. 2nd down. Roland Harper, big hole, and he blasts up inside the 40-yard line to the 36-yard line, where he's stopped by Jimmy Allen again and Luther Bradley.
Well, the old draw play, and you look at Noah Jackson blocking down the line, and Harper comes through it, takes off down the field, and is finally knocked down by you-know-who, Jimmy Allen. He's going to be sore tomorrow.
It is 3rd and about 4 for the Bears. The ball spotted at the 38-yard line of Detroit. Big play here for Chicago to try and keep this drive alive. It would put them in good scoring position. If they can get the first down. Penetrating Lions territory, they go with Walter Payton. Payton following his block beautifully. Has the first down. Pulled down from behind. Got to the 28. And a flag is down again. Charlie Weaver finally made the tackle, number 59.
Good block by Greg Latta, but you see the crackback block here. Bashnagel hits Pinckney. And he's now Walter is following number 69, Reeve Sori, who bangs into James Hunter. Some good hard knocking going on there. There's a penalty against Chicago, and it's all going to go for naught. They had a crackback by the wide receiver, but he hit him high.
Offense, number 88, tripping. Third down.
Yeah, the wide receiver block was okay. They called it on the tight end, Greg Latta.
And I guess he got extended out a little bit farther than you should on a cross-body block. Tripping call against Latta. So that makes it third down. About 14 to go. The ball now back at the 48-yard line of Detroit. 7-0 Bears. Avellini with time. Back this way to Harper, the release man. He was well covered. It's complete, but he only got a couple of yards. The ball came loose. The play had been called. Ed O'Neill, number 55, the middle linebacker, did an excellent job. Not O'Neill, number 52. Dave Washington, who had come in as the extra linebacker, did a fine job staying with him.
Yes, and the whole defensive team of Detroit did a good job because Avellini couldn't find any of his first receivers downfield and had to dump it off. And Washington did a fine job of covering Harper coming back against the grain.
So it's fourth down. Luther Blue is the deep man standing at the 10-yard line. Jesse Thompson dropped the fair catch attempt. It cost the Lions a touchdown. So they've got Luther Blue in there now, and Parsons angles the ball out at, let's see where they mark it. Still coming out. It's going to be the 14-yard line.